I'm Russell Beard in Barbados, meeting the islanders who are building a green economy. Barbados is one of 52 small island developing states recognized by the UN as being particularly vulnerable to the effects of climate change. And with limited land and resources, they're heavily dependent on imports, leaving them highly exposed to rising food and fuel prices. I'm Russell Beard in Barbados to meet the people kickstarting a green economy to secure a more sustainable future for the island's inhabitants. As one of the countries most at risk from rising sea levels and extreme weather, Barbados has pledged to lead by example in tackling climate change, while also boosting its economy. With a dense population and over 500,000 visitors per year, one challenge the tiny island faces is that it currently imports over 3/4 of what the nation eats. Shipping in over $300 million worth of food every year not only causes carbon emissions from transport, but contributes to a poor diet and leaves shoppers at the mercy of international price spikes. So we're come to meet Damien Hinkson. Now, he's a local environmental entrepreneur who's got a vision for how the islanders might start to feed themselves more sustainably. This is our man, is it? Damien?
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, man.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I'm here setting up an aquaponics system.
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to take a closer look?
Yeah, absolutely. Self-taught using the internet and social media, Damien's built a backyard system that can provide householders with fresh vegetables and fish.
Well, aquaponics in its simplest form, yeah, is you take an aquarium, you take a plant pot. You hold that plant pot over an aquarium.
Uh-huh.
You take the water out of the aquarium and you water the plant pot. And you let the water drain back into the aquarium.
Okay.
So when you feed the fish in the aquarium, they create manure. And as you use that water to water the plants use it as fertilizer.
Uh-huh.
And by circulating the water all the time, the two kind of help each other out. So in here we have the pump. It pumps the water up through each one of these that you can see in the line and drains. So it's a continuous cycle going on. This one line is designed to feed a family of 4.
Damien's aquaponics setup is based on designs he found online, which he adapted for the Caribbean using solar-powered pumps and waste coconut husks instead of soil.
It lets the water through
Okay.
more readily than soil, but you still get to set up a soil food web inside the medium, which is the beneficial bacteria in there that do the actual conversion of the fish waste into the plant food.
Eventually, the husks break down into rich compost that can be used in a garden. This is the same stuff?
Yeah.
So you're actually producing soil as well?
Yeah.
As fish and
And
vegetables.
plants and food.
Yeah.
So you're healing the earth. You're going to have to go collect the fish and the plants.
Damien is part of a new wave of environmentally conscious food producers on the island who use social media to share their ideas, knowledge and resources.
Yeah, you could just say 100 fish on Facebook. We're all connected. And someone would say, yeah, I got it. Yeah, Joe, come for some fish, man.
Damien's neighbour, Joe Callender, is one member of this emerging network and has started breeding tilapia behind his house.
You hold that side,
Okay.
and I come from this
We're
side.
just going to do a pincer movement. Oh, wow, look at these, man, a little baby tilapia.
So you see, in another couple of months, these could be a good fillet.
I'm coming back. I mean, it's early days. There's a couple of ponds with some fairly small fish in it. It requires a bit of imagination. You think this could be a very real option in the future?
Definitely.
What we want to do is to get the technology to the point where everyone on the island would accept it and it becomes mainstream.
And everybody gonna be like a player in the side that we can really get it up to the standard we really want it to be.
Yeah. Collaboration, you're talking. Cool. Well,
No water wastes.
yeah.
Every time we change water, it irrigates all the fruit trees on the property.
Wow.
So no wastage. 100% proof.
With little land for industrial agriculture, Damien and Joe believe that backyard food production is the best way for Barbados to eat more sustainably and to cut the rising costs of importing food.
fuel goes up to there, our food goes up the same time. So what's better than to try to feed yourself with what you have?
Just choose what you want, and then you go there and order.
So this is where you come for the seedlings?
Yeah.
This nursery run by the Phillips family is another link in Damien's network.
You see the tomatoes, the lettuce.
So this is baby lettuce?
Yeah.
Okay. Seedling. And their operation is almost entirely off-grid. Can't help noticing we stood under pretty impressive turbines.
These guys actually are on the forefront when it comes to self-sufficiency and running that kind of way.
By spreading the seeds of a grow-your-own movement, the family hopes to help islanders become more food secure.
Because you go to the market, prices of vegetables is very expensive.
Lettuce, squash, what we got here? And more cucumbers, okay.
So we're going to go back and get them installed in your system. So can you see a future where these are literally, there's one in every one of the gardens here in Barbados?
Of course you can see a future, man.
Yeah.
But it's going to take some work.
Yeah.
We're going to have to spread the idea.
Yeah, you can't do it all on your own.
No, you can't. Make sure you get the young ones involved, like my daughter.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing the progress of this on your Facebook page.
It's going to be on Facebook.
Since 2010, Damien's helped 80 other islanders get started with aquaponics. And every day he answers questions online from people across the Caribbean interested in the technology.
I hope this is a template for other people to take it and make it theirs.
But the internet's not the only platform Damien's using to share his ideas. Bears Village Aquaponics Association, 9 months to food security.
I'm hoping to get these in the libraries at the schools and what's not, so you could get the youngsters to read them.
A food secure nation is a strong nation, and I hope to play a part in implementing a smooth transition to such a food system by detailing the processes of household food production.
Yeah.
Why did you not tell us you'd written a book? You know, the sun's going down, it's the last thing on your mind, but this is great, man. Household food production could help feed residents, but the island also needs to cater for up to 60,000 hungry tourists who dine here every day. And we've come across town to meet Christina Adams. Now, she's another entrepreneur here on the island, and she's hoping to take fish farming to a commercial level. Christina studied aquaculture in Canada before returning to set up the island's first commercial fish farm.
Everybody comes to the Caribbean, the first thing that they want to order is fish. They just ironically don't know that the majority of it is not from the Caribbean, it's actually been imported. For me to actually make a difference in terms of the food import bill, I don't need to produce 100 fish. I need to be producing thousands of fish.
So what's the capacity for one of these?
The maximum capacity for that would be about 4,000 fish.
4,000?
Yeah.
Built from modified swimming pools, Christina's farm supplies up to 450 kilograms of tilapia to the island's restaurants every month, and she aims to double her production every 6 months while using minimal resources. Thinking about the story here in Barbados, in relative terms with the small island developing states, they're all facing the same challenges to
limited space.
Limited space. How do you fit into all of that?
Well, this is a perfect model for that because I'm trying to promote farming where instead of the old traditional farming, which would have been huge ponds, huge land, huge water usage, we're doing a compact farm, small land, very efficient water usage.
Christina also plans to improve her efficiency by installing solar panels and harvesting rainwater, but she didn't set out to be an environmentalist.
I liked the idea of being a farmer. But I think what really convinced me was the business plan that I did. When I actually added up the numbers, I saw, well, not only could I be a farmer, I could actually make money, as much money as if I was a doctor or a lawyer. There was a lot of money in farming. So that kind of changed my mind.
It really doesn't matter where your motivations lie. You know, if you're a greenie, what we're talking about is an environmental win.
Yeah,
really,
exactly.
For everybody.
Yeah, for everybody, yeah. Because it will actually drive the economy as well as be environmentally friendly. And I think, honestly, I mean, when it comes down to it, most people want to make money. That's the hard, cold truth. You know, and if you can show them a way to make money while being environmentally friendly, they're going to do it as well. So it's just an added plus.
Sooner or later, everyone's going to use organic food production. Yeah, the best technology to do that is aquaponics because you get to raise 2 crops in one. I mean, we got refrigerators. They're just to store the food for long-term use. Well, the aquaponics system, it produces food, so it makes sense to have one in your house as well, yeah?
So we have to find ways to diversify keeping ourselves alive and keeping our neighbors too, you know, with good fresh food from our own backyards. And that's the way forward.
Barbados generates the vast majority of its electricity by burning imported oil, which is inefficient and highly polluting, and means islanders pay around 3 times as much as their American neighbours for power. One of the island's original environmental entrepreneurs has been helping residents cut carbon emissions and save money since the 1970s.
So this is the headquarters of Solar Dynamics, and we've come to meet James Husbands, who's seen by many people on the island as really the father of the solar thermal movement.
Now he's at the helm of a successful industry that's harnessing one of the Caribbean's most abundant natural resources.
Welcome to Solar Dynamics.
Thanks for having us.
This gives you some idea of the work we've done.
Okay.
We started back in 1974, a simple and expensive solar hot water system using an old oil drum.
Over the past 40 years, James has worked to make solar-powered water heaters mainstream.
Each model was an improvement on the previous one.
It's very small.
This is a scale model. This would
like you're not gonna get too much more
this would be,
yeah.
no. Whereas this is 18 inches, it normally would be 5 feet.
This simple system warms water using just the heat of the sun, reducing dependence on power-hungry electric heaters.
Radiation comes in and is absorbed by the black-bodied copper material. By conduction, that heat is absorbed, and by convection, that heated water rises and goes to the storage tank.
But the key thing is that someone's going to be able to wake up in the morning and have a hot shower.
Absolutely. Barbados is the 4th leading nation in the world in the penetration of solar water heaters. So it's only Greece. Thank you very much.
That's pretty impressive. 4th in the world.
4th in the world. We are only beaten by Greece, Cyprus, and Israel. And those have been in this industry years before us.
As the popularity of solar water heaters has increased, with the help of generous government tax breaks, several other firms have emerged to supply this growing market.
Most of the houses in this neighborhood, perhaps as much as 75%, have a solar hot water system. We've got a few units from other colleagues in the industry.
I like the way that you said other colleagues in the industry rather than competitors.
Well, you know, I'm the grandfather of the industry.
Yeah.
And there isn't a company that you'll find, not just in Barbados, in the Caribbean, where we haven't trained some people.
Creating a new industry has meant constructing a whole new workforce. So far, James and his team have trained hundreds of staff, keeping Solar Dynamics in business and the wider region supplied with a steady stream of solar thermal experts.
You can't sustain an industry unless you have people who can install, manufacture, repair.
James, I saw you there getting involved, getting your hands dirty. Do you often come down here onto the factory floors?
Not often enough.
Not often enough.
Let's talk about the insulation. Not often enough. This is cabinetry that I designed.
We need double press on this, yeah? Oh, that's nice.
Just release.
So what do you think about this, Nathan?
I think renewable energy is really the way out for Barbados because we have plenty of sun all year round. Why not buy a solar system instead of using electricity all year round?
Yeah.
It's much cheaper. It pays back for itself by times. Yeah. It'll last about 15 years.
Rising oil prices mean that the cost of heating water with electricity has tripled since 1970, helping to make these units cost-effective.
So do you know where you're taking this one just now?
Somewhere close.
Somewhere close by. I suppose nowhere's really far away on this little island.
Solar Dynamics and its competitors have now installed an estimated 50,000 water heaters on the island, including one on every 3rd home.
Here we are. Looks like the house isn't even finished yet, and they're already putting on a solar thermal system. It's all great if you can get it up onto the roof. And at the moment, all I'm seeing is one ladder, one kind of steep roof, and some rope.
These units can pay for themselves in under 2 years, leaving householders with free hot water that doesn't cost the earth. Energy savings from all the island's solar water heaters put together are the equivalent to reducing oil imports by 185,000 barrels a year.
And so James was saying most of the other companies have trained up staff.
They come through Solar Dynamics.
They come through Solar Dynamics, so they get the training here, like the apprenticeship.
Some start at the companies.
Really?
I would like to do that in the future, yeah?
Yeah.
Back home in my home, in Jamaica, in my country where I'm from.
I see, right, no way.
Yeah, I would like to. Yeah.
Is there anything really like this in Jamaica?
When I was there, I wasn't. I can go out with the idea and start something.
Yeah.
With the right political support, the combination of a growing skill base and ample sunshine could mean a bright future for the solar thermal industry throughout the Caribbean.
I would like to be a part of it. Save the environment.
Tourism contributes around $1.7 billion per year to Barbados' income, around a third of the country's entire GDP. So for the island to make a serious transition to a greener economy, the biggest business in town needs to get on board.
No problem at all.
How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
Richard,
Russell,
come
nice
aboard.
to meet you. All right, come on in.
Excellent.
Swimming with turtles is one of the most popular tourist activities here, and marine biologist Darren Brown wants to keep it that way.
Our main goal is to gather scientific data about sea turtles, how development on the beaches and at sea is affecting them, and how tourism and essentially our activities as human beings are affecting them.
Light pollution and loss of beaches from seafront development are disrupting the breeding habits of the 1,000 hawksbill sea turtles that nest on the island.
The hawksbill, these are the critically endangered turtles.
Yes, the hawksbills are critically endangered.
These are the ones that, I mean, these are obviously fake tortoiseshell, but this, I mean, what they're modeled on.
Yes, that's exactly what a scoop from a hawksbill turtle shell looks like.
Despite a total ban on turtle hunting in Barbados, the creatures are still preyed on, and not just for their shells.
We have a problem with poaching turtles in the Caribbean.
Literally just poaching for food?
Yes. The problem is the turtle meat is actually toxic to humans, and people still go and they poach the turtles and they eat the meat.
As well as going on nightly anti-poaching patrols, the Barbados Sea Turtle Project helps hotels reduce their impact on turtle nesting grounds. But today they're investigating a growing problem that's a direct result of tourism.
We're going to be comparing turtles at sites where they're being fed to those at sites where they're not being fed.
Is this what we're dealing with here?
Yeah, so she's actually passed through the fish market, the Oysters Fish Market here, and so you can buy a bag of food and come out onto the pier and toss the bits of fish into the water, and then of course that will attract the green turtles, so you can see them take photos and so on.
I see. So that's a specific thing. They say buy turtle food effectively, but the turtles don't actually eat this.
No, not naturally.
Wild.
Not naturally. Yeah.
These green turtles should be grazing on seagrass, helping maintain a vital habitat for other species, so their new diet could cause problems for the wider ecosystem as well as for the turtles.
What's going to happen is we're going to start getting in the water, and we'll work together to grab some of these turtles, bring them up the ramp and onto the boat.
The only way for the team to gather the information they need is to actually catch the turtles, and for this they brought along an unlikely ally.
So, this is Stanton Thomas.
Stanton Warrior. Yeah. You've got quite a reputation around here. And so I heard that you've not always been working together with the conservation group.
Well, I used to fish the turtles.
Used to fish the turtles?
I used to fish it, Okay. But now I know different.
Stanton used to be one of Barbados' most notorious and successful turtle hunters and has perfected the art of catching the creatures.
Oh my God, that's an absolute monster.
It's a huge fella, boy.
It's like having a 5-year-old with a teenager's body. They're not really adapted very well to carrying that much weight.
With tour guides feeding them anything from hot dogs to fried chicken, like many youngsters, they're ditching their greens in favor of fast food.
You can see the fat around the neck. Usually, there's pretty much this area is pretty much concave. Puffs of fat coming out of here. I mean, they actually are rounded. Yeah.
Now you see why this dude is so strong. You've been lifting a lot of turtles, man.
There have been rumors for years that these turtles were overweight, but you know, we didn't have any hard data to back it up.
So this data, Darren, you'll be able to look on a computer and
figure out when we last tagged this turtle, where he or she was last tagged, whether or not, you know, in that intervening time he's put on a lot of size.
Piling on the pounds is causing these ancient reptiles serious problems. They're already showing early signs of heart disease, diabetes and gout. And that's on top of suffering other knock-on effects, like losing their fear of boats.
So this might be something like a jet ski.
So how often do you see these kind of injuries?
Every time we come out here.
With tourist boats using the same scraps to attract the turtles as they do for fishing, more turtles are taking hooks, which has proved fatal in the past.
We need to have an antiseptic and probably some antibiotics put on. Cut off the barb.
Poor guy.
Natural behavior for a green turtle is as soon as they see you, they take off.
Right.
And hopefully we'll be at one or two sites where you'll actually see that.
Wow, he's away.
Our technique's not going to work over here. The turtles are definitely wild. They see us coming and they're just gone.
These turtles haven't been fed by tourists, so are fitter, faster, and much harder to catch.
Hey, he's coming.
Yeah, Russell, you can see the difference with these ones. You can actually compress the skin underneath here.
They need to slow down. They need to slow down, man.
It's only?
What are you talking about? They did a job, yeah?
It's pretty crazy when you first started going in.
Yeah.
They were coming in.
Yeah, just turtle after turtle after, yeah.
So what's going to happen to all that data that you collected there?
We're going to record that, of course, and we're going to share that with the government of Barbados. And so the idea is that with that data, we'll have an argument for better management of the tourism activity of swimming, snorkeling with turtles.
But to properly protect these creatures, Darren and the team will need to influence government policy, not just in Barbados, but across the region, as elsewhere endangered turtles can still be legally killed.
You could find yourself in a situation where you're working hard to conserve the species here, collect the data, and you're tagging them.
Yes.
And if they swim a few miles to a neighboring island, they could be at risk from being hunted.
In the Caribbean, we share our turtles. So a turtle that nests on Barbados may feed off the coast of St. Lucia, and in St. Lucia there's a 6-month open season.
Thanks to conservation efforts, Barbados has one of the Caribbean's largest populations of sea turtles. And by cooperating with other islands, the team hope to help keep them safe once they leave.
So what we're going to do is we've got about 3 or 4 turtles that we still haven't caught yet. So we're going to get into the water. We're going to follow Stanton's lead. So if he needs help, we'll go in and we'll work together with him to get it back to the boat.
Okay.
All right?
Man overboard!
One local study showed that scuba divers are willing to pay $110 more if they can be guaranteed to see at least 3 healthy turtles on a dive, showing that business and biodiversity can go hand in hand. Darren hopes his research will persuade the government to regulate the feeding of turtles and restrict boat numbers and fishing near the animals, protecting the turtles and the tourist industry that depends on them.
It's always a little odd when somebody other than Stanton catches turtles.
Yeah.
You had a good day, man.
I'm on top of the world right now.
Yeah.
It's a really good day.
Yeah.
17 turtles, that was excellent.
You think that the work that you're doing is in some way like setting an example?
Yeah, I think so. I think right now Barbados is taking a few really, really good steps in the right direction. Hopefully, if there is a development of a similar focus on tourism and sea turtles within the other islands, that's going to be a necessary approach. That kind of change is going to become a bit contagious and it's going to spread. And things are going to be looking up for not only sea turtles, but the natural environment as a whole.
Despite not having caused many of the environmental problems they face, these islanders are rising to the challenge, determined to show that Barbados can lead the way towards a more sustainable future.